Welcome to another episode of
We grown.
Question mark?
I'm Moya.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Sean.
And first things first, as we always do, we're going to ask what has had us feeling grown. We're going to answer what has had us feeling grown. Anyone? Any takers?
I can go. I got a prop. So I think some people have been seeing me post random stuff on Instagram recently because so John and I were cleaning out our basement. So we're just trying to make sure everything looks, I guess, decent and get rid of clutter. Because we just have boxes down there that why do we have this box? This box, we haven't touched it in 2 years. We ain't touch it, it can go. So we going through stuff, but I took this bin from my mom's house and it has all this childhood stuff in it. So stuff from most of it I would say is from high school.
Early
And
2000s.
yeah, so I would say most of it's from early 2000 time frame. I definitely have some stuff probably from 2000 to maybe 2013-ish. I don't know. But it's just an interesting find. So the first thing I have is my
What the
journal.
hell?
Right. So I have a journal. So this is from 2001. And I read one little insert from September 11. Um, that it was on my Instagram. So I'm not gonna read that one again. But this insert here says, "Hey, just woke up. A singer died. Her name was Aaliyah. It's sad." And
Wow,
that,
this journal's so depressing.
Right. September 11th, Aaliyah gone, child. What
right.
were you going
Okay.
through?
Okay, so here's another entry. This is the final one. So had had soccer game, lost.
That's why it's the final entry. Just like,
I'm done.
But
I'm done.
lost.
That
Oh,
meme.
right.
Cut the show.
Um,
Cut the
like,
show.
I'm
I'm
done.
done. I'm done.
So that was probably my biggest what had you feeling grown, just going through that box. There's all kind of stuff in there. I found one of my friend's keys, I guess maybe his house keys. Um, and I was like, whose keys? But his prom picture is on there, so I was like, well, it gotta be yours. I know it ain't mine. So I have books in there from, and of course they would be the banned books now. So they're Fahrenheit 451. I have Native Son, um, Catcher in the Rye. So these are books that I read eighth to ninth grade, I guess, and probably ninth to 10th grade, summer reading books. So
hmm
just wild, um, finding that. My eyes, I was going through it just now, and my eyes are so dry from the amount of dust from that box. So
Yikes.
yeah, I closed that junk right back up. Yeah. Hey, you can just stay down there. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's a podcast, it's a video, and more.
Okay. I had a
Yeah.
journal once, but it died as soon as my mom read something, and then she confronted me about it. Like, if you're gonna read it, at least pretend you did it. She was like, "What is this that you wrote?" And I'm like, "See, that's why I don't be writing." So I never kept a journal after that.
You gotta get better with hiding it. You gotta get better with hiding it. I had
I
a
wasn't
journal.
really thinking about hiding it because you aren't supposed to just read it. That was the point. She gave me a journal like, "Oh, here's a journal. It's your private thing." I'm just trusting, but
She's like,
where
I'll take
trust
it.
issues
I'll take
begin.
it every night.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Crazy.
I
But
mean,
yeah.
y- You could have just been really vague like mine.
Maybe I no, because I used to love writing and I was very detailed about everything. Like I'm over here writing whole books, whole stories, but no, I stopped. Definitely crushed
I
those dreams.
I have another entry in there, and it says like I slept 11 hours last night because I played a video game. All right, I'm leaving to go to Jalen's house. Bye. Every entry ended with something like, "All right, I gotta go. Bye."
You were trying to
Like
be
the
Moesha.
I I guess.
Yeah, but that was like a thing in the 90s because it was Moesha, wasn't it Taina? Like a lot of shows
Hmm.
had like the little like closing with
Journals.
them
Yeah.
journaling, and it was just like, okay, so I guess this is what I'm supposed to do. Clarissa Explains It All.
I
Didn't
was
she
about to
journal
say
too?
Clarissa explains it all. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a YouTube series that was called Dear Jesus or something like that, where she would start off with Dear Jesus and then she would write her thing. So I started doing something like that as my like prayer journal. I was like, oh, this is so cute. Let me, Dear Jesus. Like, but it was the same like concept. Like it came from our version of social media. It was
Yeah.
like early days of YouTube.
Yeah, or like, Facebook has the what's on your mind? Somebody
Yeah.
on my Facebook always says, "What's on my mind?" question mark, and then they say whatever their
That's cute.
status
So
is.
they repeat the question in their status?
Yeah. So every one of their posts says, "What's on my mind?"
That's cute.
I guess so everybody knows what the question at hand is.
And I like never got it. Like I was always like, why do you keep saying what's on my mind? And then like I wrote a status and I saw it, was like, "What's on your mind?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"True."
I feel like my journals, I don't know, they've progressed. Like I have one that I keep and I've kept that one like hidden so well for decades because I was writing my heart and soul in that journal. And I'd only write in it if something like crazy happened or something traumatic or I was like emotional about something. Like I still have it and I've looked back at it like years past and I'm like, girl, you
That
crying over some boy? What?
that's how it would be. Like I remember, so after my journal, then I like evolved to my blog, and
Oh yeah, I remember the blog age. I
that was
like
a
reading
lot
Sean's blog.
because it was so in depth. Like it was such a transition. Like I got called down to the daggone guidance counselor office for them things and all. So
Not the blog.
yes, because
I did
somebody,
used to
so
like reading y'all blogs. You and Dominic used to blog.
yeah,
I can't find
there
my
was.
blog no more. I tried looking for it.
I don't
I
know
tried
what
look.
mine was called. I know I think I had two.
I'll have to
I think I
check.
had I think it was called Thought Dump or something like that. And I don't remember what the other one was called.
It
I
was
could still
something
find
like
my
that.
Tumblr, but I can't find my blogger anymore.
I'll have to look. I'm pretty sure it's still there because I've seen it not like a far time ago, but yeah.
Man, what a time. What a time. Now these
Mm,
kids got TikTok and they be
right.
vlogging on YouTube. No, they mostly
Yeah.
be on TikTok. Kids be on
Okay.
TikTok like
I'm like, okay, old lady.
Listen, I ain't on TikTok. I don't think y'all gonna get me on TikTok. It's just nah. I be seeing
Me
that whole
neither.
TikTok have on people, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't add that to my list. Twitter used to be my thing, but now with the whole Twitter terms and conditions change, I'm just like, all right, well, hey Threads, hey Blue Sky.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not there. I mean, I'm on it,
Yeah, 'cause
but
you told me to go ahead and shave my head when I was like, I'm gonna shave my head.
first of all, I didn't tell you go ahead and shave your head. I said, let me shave your head. There's a difference. I give you a
Next
nice
question.
little fade.
If you can fade, sure.
I got you.
Okay. Cause mm, I don't know. I take these out. I'm just kind of like, I think, I think I should just start over.
I'm not against it. I low key want to start over too, so
Moyo said if I do it, she can do it. She can tell her
Let's all
husband,
just
look, just shave your head, so you
let's
know.
just all do it at the same time. We be in here looking
okay.
like Mulan. Just
Yeah.
that's better because we ain't
Look
getting no
over
one.
crazy.
We ain't getting no one slice here.
Let me just get
Nope.
through my daddy photo shoot and then I think I can start over.
Mhm. Did either one of y'all had a what have
Oh,
me
what had
feeling
us feeling
grown?
grown?
Go ahead, Jess.
Oh, I'm looking at you.
I thought I thought you froze.
I think it seemed like she was starting something.
Oh man, what had me feeling grown this week? Um, man, I don't know. I just be feeling grown in general. Like coming off of Thanksgiving, I think you just realize like we we are the adults now. Like we're the ones hosting now. Like no more kids table, no more just showing up to somebody's house. Like y'all hosting or y'all cooking. And that's kind of crazy to think about. Like we the aunties, we the uncles.
Hmm.
Like we
Yeah.
are that generation, and it's just weird to think about the fact that like, dang, I used to just be able to show up and start eating, or show up and sit at the kids' table and chill. Nope,
True.
not anymore. No, we are said adults, said aunties and uncles. We got the arms
Yeah.
to go with it.
Girl,
I'm like, I
that
might be able to turn out some mac and cheese. I can do a good vegan mac and cheese actually. I gave my recipe to somebody else, and she every year tells me she loves my mac and cheese recipe. Like it's a hit
I
because she can't have cheese. So I can do a vegan mac and cheese real good.
I can make a mac in plastic as well.
Wow. Wow.
That's what that's what
See.
I call it. That's what I mean. Well, I eat it too, so it's just what I call it. Mac and
Mac and
plastic.
plastic? That's not
Yeah.
appetizing
Okay.
whatsoever.
You know when you trying to heat up your well, the cheeses have or the faux cheeses have evolved. Before,
They
you
have
trying to heat it
definitely,
up,
yeah.
and that joint is, you've been stirring the
It's just
pot
like,
for it's been 12 minutes, and you like this cheese is gonna melt sooner or later. Like so, mac and
yeah.
plastic.
Fair, fair.
I
Yeah.
haven't got to
But
the point of eating that yet. I did take a pill for Thanksgiving because my brother made mac and cheese.
Moyo
So
will not take the dairy pills, man. And
I
I'm
will
just like,
take them. I just said I took one. I
but you
took
say
one.
it in like a defeated way. Like, you're not like, okay, like, hey, let's go get ice cream. She's like, nah, let's not get
I
ice
will
cream because
just
I'm
get
not trying to
non-dairy
take a
ice
pill.
cream. Yeah. Yes, because I don't really like popping pills. Like I don't want to be like that.
Girl,
I
like
just want to be. I'm already. Oh, this is what had me feeling grown. I already have to take allergy medicine consistently. Like every day,
Okay.
I gotta take allergy medicine. And if I skip days, because I think I'm alright, I don't need all that. It take me out real quick. And so I'm like, I don't need to add anything else to the list of things I gotta carry. I was at the I was at church for an event and they were giving pizza out. Black church, not white church. They were giving pizza out.
It's an
And
important
then
distinction. It is a very important distinction.
just so y'all know why I was eating. But I took the pizza and I was like, dang, I don't have no dairy pills. And I went to my car and I was like, dang, I don't have no dairy pills in my car. I really am about this life now. I just don't take. So I just took all the cheese off the pizza and ate the bread. It was still
girl,
good. It was still good.
girl,
Because I was like, I was hungry.
just eat the pizza.
No, I don't have the same like lactose intolerance like you, Sean. It's not
I
a
know.
one and done issue. It'd be
I
a,
mean,
you want to play, let's play.
I mean,
You want to fight
my,
for my life? No, no, it's not a risk I want to take.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you really do
guess.
be fighting for your life. You just be like, oh,
I
oh.
never do it again. I promised enough times I never do it again. I learned my lesson after the second or third time.
That'd be
Like,
the
all
I
main
right,
thing
get.
I'd
I
be
mean,
saying.
I feel it only because there are some foods that I'm like, nah, like I will stay away from, far away.
Hmm.
yeah.
Mm.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I like food.
anyways, our lactose intolerance comes up a lot. But our next segment is Kids Corner. Sean had a
Ooh.
story
I
about
mean, it's not really a
socks.
story. It's not really a story. I mean, I don't know. So yesterday, I'm off work and I'm like, let me wash the clothes. So I'm washing clothes. I mean, it's Kendall's clothes, so do your whole whatever, the special detergent for the babies, whatever. So I'm washing, do, take them out, put it on dry, eco dry, which sucks, but we try and say that $2.80 a month. So got the eco dry, take it out. So then we start unfolding clothes, putting stuff away, and then there's a sock, and I was like, whose sock is this? It's not our sock. It's not Kendall's sock. It's just a sock. It's one sock. And I have no clue where that sock came from.
Is it a child sock?
Yeah, but it's not Kendall's size sock. So I was like, whose sock is this? Where did it come from? So I'm assuming daycare probably threw a sock in the
Yeah.
bag because Kendall had a
Mm,
blowout. I don't know
mm.
if I'm like, did someone foot get hit? Like, I don't know. So they were like, clean this too. I don't know. So I just had some random baby sock. It could, for all I know, it might be Kendall's.
Not for all you know. Should know
I
that
mean,
baby
but
socks by
I
now.
get it.
that's what I thought. I mean, but John was like, well, maybe I took out like some socks from a different drawer that I don't usually do. And I was like, just one? And he's like, no, that don't make no sense. So the sock is just sitting there, washed and cleaned while we wait.
I would have thrown it away. Then I would have found the other one and been like, dang, that's crazy. So it was like,
That's what we try to figure out. Like, is the other one about to just pop up? But
I keep like a sock bag for that, like socks that I lose, and or as I'm doing laundry and I only find one sock in laundry, I have like a little sock bag, and then like I guess after a couple, well I won't say a couple loads, after a couple months, maybe years, I'll decide whether to throw the sock away.
not years.
Because you never know. Sometimes the socks do be just popping up out of
Yeah,
nowhere, and it be taking
I
months.
I had four of the same socks. I mean, well, two pairs, I guess, and then one of them ripped. So now I have three socks. So one of them just sits like on my dresser, waiting for the second sock
The
to rip.
pair.
Yeah. So then I'll be like, and now I have two. But it's been a
yeah, but
while.
one will be worn and the other one will be
And
fresh.
faded.
No, who did? Y'all ain't looking at them?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, because if somebody, I be thinking about it. Like if I'm gonna go to somebody's house and I know I gotta take off my shoes, I'm like, let me wear some good socks. Wear the good
Yeah.
sock. I might even wear something like something cute. Like today, I had a promotion ceremony and I wore little Christmas socks. Like y'all gonna see these? Did anybody see them? Probably not, but they was there.
All right, so my kids' corner is I first of all I had to write the whole conversation because I keep taking notes of things and then I'm like I don't know the details. Like I don't remember the details at all. Like I had one note that said something about if I say a word that my daughter doesn't know, she'll be like, "Why you speaking Spanish?" I'm like, but I don't have the example because I don't remember what word it was, but it was definitely English because I come speak English. But
Like,
she's like, that's not a word. Why you speaking Spanish? Just because she don't know the word. Um, but anyways, this particular story that I was supposed to be talking about, we were eating dinner, and on Wednesdays we go to Awana at church. Um, and my daughter's like, she don't want dinner, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, okay, you don't want dinner, so when you get to Awana and they give you snacks, don't eat those snacks because you didn't eat dinner. They give them chips and a drink. And she's like, I don't want no snack anyway, like attitude. And I'm like, okay, you better not eat that snack. I better not see you eat no snack when I get in there either. She's like, okay. I drop them off. I'm coming in and she sees me walking. Here she go running. Mommy, I forgot that I didn't want a snack. Like, you forgot. Give me the snack. I look at the snack. It's half gone. Half the bag of chips is gone. And she's like, I just forgot. I forgot that I said I didn't want chips. But you had all that attitude earlier. And as soon as you saw me, that it clicked, huh? You got caught. Got caught. So then we're getting in the car and stuff. And she's like, can I be good and get my chips back? And I'm like, how you gonna be good? Like, I don't understand. Like, you trying to bargain for the chips. And she's like, I can eat my dinner. And I'm like, you can eat your dinner, but you're not getting no chips. Like, after all of that, no, you're not getting these chips back. So she gets home, she eats the dinner because she's hungry, like you was hungry. And then the next morning, she's like, can I have my chips? And I'm like, no, you cannot have your chips. Like, you still can't have the chips. She gets back from school. She's like, she does all the stuff she's supposed to do after school because she's trying to be good. She still wants these chips. You would think they never eat chips ever. The way that she's acting. But so she did all her homework and all of that. And she's like, can I have my chips now? And then I'm like, I didn't respond. I was just like ignoring her. And then Hezekiah's like, Joya said, can we have her chips? And then she's like, no, you didn't. I said, can I have my chips now?
not.
I'm just like, go eat the chips. I don't care. Like, it's been so long that y'all eating these chips. Go eat the chips. I don't know if she shared or not, but I was just like, bruh, this was a lot. And I was like, I have to write it down because I'm gonna forget. But yeah, it was hilarious. The whole thing was hilarious. The reason I didn't respond because I was like, this girl's really still thinking about these chips from yesterday.
Yes, a half-eaten bag of
Not
chips.
not all day long.
Literally, like you woke up
Old me
thinking about
would
them
have ate the
chips.
chips, but I didn't eat the chips because I used to be like, I already ate them. That's how I used to get back at them for being bad. But she knew I didn't eat the chips because they were still sitting out. But yeah, that was
Not her
good
singing. I'm
humor.
like, I want them chips.
I'm coming for you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get y'all. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, hopefully
That
them
is
chips
crazy.
is worth
Terrible.
it.
Hezzy said, let me get in on these chips too.
Right.
Maybe if I ask. She's like, wait a minute. That's too much. Now
I did not say I was
that.
gonna share.
Now we're crossing the line. I don't want them that bad.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's
They be
crazy.
tripping. It's funny because when we went to dinner with Dominic, I said something about like my kids make me laugh a lot. He's like, "Oh, what's something funny they do?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Like,
I have no idea. Go watch the podcast. You can't put me on the
Never watched
spot.
the podcast.
I have no idea.
what's name one funny thing?
That was just like when he was like, what do you like best about parenting? I was just like,
You asking some real questions. You need to follow me.
Just come on the podcast.
The mom brain don't be letting all of this stuff go.
bruh,
Like, you
Like,
can't ask me on the
bruh,
spot. You need to text me and let me think about it.
please. Because I look real bad. Like, I just said, oh, I love being a mom. You're like, what's the best thing about being a mom?
I don't know. I know I'm supposed to say I love it. What you mean?
Did you
Oh
not see
Lord,
me
I'm sorry.
struggling getting in here? I have nothing to say. My baby hollering.
Oh
This
my
bag
goodness.
heavy.
Does this count as my
I'm
workout? Cause
Bruh.
there's a lot of laughing.
oh,
Yo.
I didn't do a workout today either. That's okay though.
I've been
I
slacking.
told myself. I told myself I'm gonna start on Monday last week,
Ooh.
and we're still gonna start on Monday next
Next
week.
Monday. One of these Mondays.
Are you in our weight loss
No,
fit?
cause y'all didn't add me.
I'm not
I think that was
admin.
when I think I was pregnant when y'all first started it.
Yeah. No, you were
That's
in it
why.
before and then I kicked you out
I don't know why I be kicking people out of stuff.
because she wasn't part of it. Oh, I know why I kicked her out. I know why I kicked her out. Because I,
I don't know why.
I
They both laughing. I don't know why.
because this is why I kicked Jess out. Because one day we were because we were
This was
doing a weight
before I
loss
was in the group.
competition. Yeah, so we were doing a weight loss competition, and I lost. I don't know what I lost. Something. 2.2 pounds. And then Jess, we having a conversation, blah, blah, blah. But Jess wasn't in the weight loss challenge. Like, she wasn't part of it. I don't know, but she wasn't part of it. But then Jess was like, oh, you think you're doing something with your 2.6 pounds loss? What? And she said, yeah, I saw it. I saw the scale number. And I was like, remove. After that, I was like, you out. I was like, you didn't go diminish my 2.6 pounds.
I feel like it was because this man was going in about how much they ate over the weekend, and I'm like, bruh, y'all got something got to give.
It was a safe space, and she wasn't safe, so she had to go.
I was trying to hold you accountable. No, because Sean will be like, he would work out all week, eat
Killing
well
it.
all week, and then on the weekend, literally hit up Crumble and Raising Canes, and then double back and then go get some Chinese food and have something delivered to the house that Sunday and be like, dang, I was so bloated. And it started all over again. Back on Monday, ooh, I did my workout. I had my meal prep. I did this. I did that. And then Friday come around.
Read me my rights.
Saturday hit.
1000%. So she had to
Bruh.
go. Ain't nobody, I wasn't asking for that. This wasn't an accountability challenge at the time. She gotta go.
Yo, I thought I was being a good friend. But I
The
wasn't
best.
participating in that one.
I was like, not her not being part of it. Knowing all the deets.
I've been trying to keep myself accountable in the group now, but all the work of trying to keep myself accountable is making me not work out. Like, I keep
Girl,
making new ways to make myself accountable and then don't do it.
the poll
I was doing
worked, I
better.
thought.
Well, I haven't worked out on that poll. I put the poll out there and then never worked out again. When I was saying I worked out and nobody was responding, I was working out. But then I was like, oh,
Oh,
let's do a poll. Maybe other people will say they worked out and that'll
I
motivate me.
do.
It's not motivating me though. That's the
Nah,
thing. I
Sean
also
not
feel like I've been
motivating you?
busy. I've been busy. I've been busy.
baby, let me be your motivation.
I'm gonna get my life together.
Remember, I said that in another episode, and then you said I didn't say it, but I did. So this is just a, full circle.
Mm, okay.
Okay.
Anyways, next segment. Okay, so this is a new segment because John got some things to say about his husband, so we're gonna call this spouse stories.
All right, so this is the story that happened. The other day, Kendall and I, oh, we take pictures a lot. So we be there, I be cheesing, she just be looking at the camera, and we just be taking pictures. So I saw on, I don't know. Samsung has this, I'm sure every phone has it, but it has like AI generate on the picture. So I was like, ooh, like look at this, AI generate. So I pressed it and then I got like a little animated version of me, like and I was like, ooh, comic version. I don't know, whatever kind of character like it made. So then I did Kendall. First of all, I was real blown because Kendall was a little white baby in these pictures. She coming out blonde hair, blue eyes. I was like, who goddamn white baby is this? Like, y'all better give my baby some color. So John is over my shoulder and he's looking, he's like, look at your forehead. Look at your forehead. That thing is so big. Like, I'm sure they about to get you good. So we looking at the pictures, he's like, your forehead is so huge. I I ran this man photo. So I did his. I gotta send it to y'all because I did this.
I don't want to believe that John said that verbatim,
I
but
kid you not. I kid you not.
They don't even sound like him.
it doesn't.
It. Y'all don't be knowing how John be doing me. This what John. This what happened to him. This what it did for him. And I'm gonna post it on here.
Oh, you go put the thing up.
Well,
Stop it. Insert image. That's crazy.
uh,
That's disrespectful. Disrespectful.
and I was like, you wanna come for my forehead? You don't even got. But
I gotta go to that. Oh.
and that's the first image that popped up. I said, dang, what? That was like, AI was listening today, cause look at you, look at you.
Yo,
Um, so then,
disrespectful.
that's the only one I needed to show y'all. But every single one of them Jones was just forehead, forehead, forehead. He was like, do a different picture, forehead.
Not a different picture.
That's
So
crazy.
I said, just for that, you gonna make the podcast.
Oh,
So that is my spousal story. And I really wanted to show y'all that picture when it happened because I was dying. And I was like, I can't tell y'all this story because I needed to see
oh,
y'all
The authentic
reaction.
reaction.
yeah.
Yes.
That's
oh, oh
So
my
I'm so
gosh.
glad that I was able to share a little
Oh.
laugh with y'all.
Yeah. For those that are just listening, you might want to go look at this picture because it's actually
You might,
hilarious.
you might want to see it.
Now the picture is disrespectful.
It's
Like,
It
very
like,
is.
disrespectful.
No,
like
if you go like this, it looks just like him. It does though. Because I used to do that, and I was like, wait a minute, does it actually even look like him? Nah, it actually legit looks just like him. You just gotta cover some of his forehead. Joan is crazy. Oh Lord.
oh, oh
mm.
my gosh.
So yeah, you really need to look at the picture
Yo.
when you listen to this clip, just
Yeah.
because. Mm.
I keep saying that I'm gonna do things with these reels and pictures. Hopefully, I'll get my life together and actually make it happen. Because we definitely
Oh,
should have a
I'm gonna
clip
do this
with the
one
thing. Oh, go ahead, please. Thank you.
because,
Save me.
like, I
oh.
had a. This one was personal.
You
But
gotta
yeah,
ask
that was.
ChatGPT how to make it a caption, a real caption for it.
Mm.
Mm.
So
Whew.
yeah, that was my spousal laugh for.
That was good. That was good.
It
That's
was a good
good.
one. I was holding it. I was holding it, y'all. Hmm.
I don't have a spousal story.
I mean, should we get to the the regular
The
part?
meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think those segments were good. It was a good laugh. I feel like everybody
Mhm.
needed that.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that was
All
really
right,
good.
so back to the birth stories series or segment or whatever we calling this. Um, the last we grown baby story. Y'all gotta have some more babies so we can keep this going. Okay, so
I didn't know Marcus was on this call.
all right, so son for my son. So I found out that I was pregnant with my son. I guess when my daughter was like 6 months old, and I don't remember what made me take the test because while I was pumping, I never got my period. And then when she turned 6 months old, I stopped pumping, and then my period just like literally came, and I was like, bruh, no, like runway to this, like no prepping. It just was like, all right, we done. All right, I'm here, and that was the only period because I'm like, wait a minute, my period started, I think, so I should have another period coming up because it had always been kind of consistent previously. Okay, so I had one period, missed the next period, and I was like, okay, this is weird. So I guess by the time I took the test, my daughter should have been 7 months or so. I don't know. Um, and I take the test, I put it on the table because it was positive, and I'm like, bro, what the heck? We have a baby. And the funny thing is, when we were doing the deed for my son, I literally told my husband, like, I will get pregnant today. And he was like, it don't matter. We married. It's fine. I'm like, you saying it's fine, but we got a tiny baby still. Do you really want to have a baby right now? He's like, it's fine. It's fine. And then we end up pregnant. And I think I told Jess too, which is crazy. I told Jess, like, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant because I feel like my period came. This is probably around the time I should ovulate. And like, I'm probably pregnant. Anyways, I feel like my husband didn't take me serious, but I'm like, after our first daughter, because I think in the first story I said we didn't not try for we didn't try, but we weren't not trying for a long time. So I had an idea when we actually started trying of my ovulation. Like we did the ovulation strips for maybe 2 months, and then I knew when I was ovulating. So I could tell by this point when I'm ovulating. Um, so yeah, I was immediately pregnant, and I put the thing on the table. And that day, somebody came to our house. I'm not gonna say who it was, but they saw the test sitting on the table because we were supposed to not tell anybody again, and it was just ruined immediately because the test was on the table. I was freaking out. I had my baby, and I don't remember, me and her were doing something while my husband was dealing with the person that came to the house. So he walks through the house with the person, and they see the thing on the table, but they're acting like they don't see it. And then they get to the back, and I guess they say something to my husband like, "Everything okay? Y'all all right?" Like, like trying to make sure we good. And he's like, my husband was happy, and I was happy too. I was just like, postpartum kicked my butt. That might be the next segment we do after this is postpartum, because that joint, I was not out of it yet, and here I am starting over, like just starting over, never taking a break. And so pregnancy was fine, like everything was fine for the most part. Like I didn't have any complications, any issues. Um, the only real thing I can really say during pregnancy for both of my pregnancies were really smooth. No like throwing up, no complications at all. Um, except for like when you get close to the end, your back starts hurting. And I didn't even think about like those little belly braces and all of that. But I pretty much had easy pregnancy, so I wasn't worried about it. The only other thing was we were also in the pandemic because this is 2020. When I'm finding out. And my husband couldn't go to any appointments with me. One, because we had the baby, and two, because they weren't allowing anybody to come to appointments with you. You had to do your appointments on your own. I think if it was your first pregnancy, you could have your spouse come maybe to the first ultrasound. It was like stipulations for things, but it wasn't my first pregnancy, so he couldn't come to anything. Um, so I would video call him into the doctor's appointments. Um, and it was just, I mean, it was just weird. COVID was weird, and everything was just in isolation, kind of. And then we get to the end of the pregnancy. I was due in beginning of March. End of February is when my son is born. And so I go to my last doctor's appointment that I didn't think was my last doctor's appointment, and I'm supposed to get a COVID test before I go um go deliver, because it has to be within a certain number of days of you getting the COVID test to your delivery. So you kind of have to get it at the top of the week or whatever from your due date, and then you'll keep getting it if you don't deliver, if you like extend. So I get it a week before, but then pretty much that next day I'm going into labor and they haven't gotten the results yet. And so they're like, well, we need to do a rapid test. And I'm like, y'all can't just like, why y'all didn't get the results yet? I don't remember how long tests used to take back then, but in the place they're like, I have to do a rapid test. First of all, my husband is with me. Oh, let me backtrack, because we call Jess, we call the other older Comans, because they're supposed to watch our daughter while we go to the hospital. And this time I was like, I'm not gonna get the epidural, because the last time the man was playing in my back, and I didn't want that to happen again. And I also was like, I didn't get to sleep, so the main point of me getting it was to rest, and that didn't happen. And this time around, I went into labor. I believe I still went into labor at night, because my son was born in the morning.
Mhm.
But I was rested enough where I was like, I can make it through and not worry about it. Plus, it's not gonna matter. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Um, so when I first went into labor, I just got in the bathtub. I was just relaxing, like, let me just ride it out as long as I can. I waited for, I think they came before y'all. The older Comans came first.
Mhm. Because they were closer.
Yeah, and so they were just like, y'all need anything? What you need us to do? Papa Coleman was watching TV downstairs. I think Mama Coleman is like frantic because she's hurt and just asking a lot of questions. And it's like, I don't want to answer no questions. I just want to lay here in the tub. So I take my little bath. Contractions are happening, but it's not nothing crazy because I already knew what to expect. And I want to say we left before y'all came. Um,
Mhm. Y'all left
yeah,
before
so
we
we
got there.
left to go to the hospital. Contractions are coming closer. And when we get to the hospital, that's when they're like, hey, your results never came in because you just did the test. So we need to do a rapid test. So they're trying to stick the thing up my nose, but I'm having contractions. So I keep like, I keep moving. It's like the whole thing in the back again. I'm like, I want to grab it and just be like, let me do it. Like, I need y'all to figure out what y'all doing. But they eventually get it. And I also thought it was weird that they did not test my husband, because I don't know,
Exactly.
he's gonna be in the room with the baby too, so wouldn't you test him? Because he didn't have to wear a mask while we were in the room. Like, you had to wear a mask through the hospital because it was still like height of COVID. But once we were in the room, he didn't have to wear a mask, so you would expect that he should get tested. But he didn't. He didn't have to get tested. Um, Throughout the whole thing, I'm just like breathing. People would come in there and talk to me, and I would just, whenever I had a contraction, I would just stop. I would breathe. I would do my breathing. And then I would just continue like nothing happened. And they're like, you're doing so good. Da, 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 da. Then I get to that point again where I'm like, I would love to take a nap. Like, I would love to just go to sleep, because, yeah, the contractions are not terrible, but I can't sleep with them. And I'm like asking my husband, like, should I just get the epidural? He's like, you said you didn't want it, so no. Like, and he was like being really strict about it. Like, I asked him so many times, like, can you just call the doctor? He's like, no, you said you don't want it. And I'm like, it feels like it's getting like kind of crazy. He's like, you're handling them fine. Like, you're just breathing and you're fine. And I'm like, First of all, don't tell me, don't tell me I'm fine. Like I'm the one going through it. But also, I was fine. Like I just wanted to sleep. And he's like, remember, you couldn't sleep the last time, so why put yourself through it again? So I'm like, you're right, you're right. He's like, you told me, because I told him beforehand, like, do not, no matter what I say or do, do not let me get it. So he's like, you told me no matter what you say or do. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get it. Um, I probably got to about 6 centimeters before they were like, hey, do you want us to give you the Pitocin again? I'm like, yes, actually, yes, let's do that. And they're like, just know you're not getting that epidural. It's going to get really intense. I'm like, okay, I understand. Like, let's just get this moving along. I'm ready to be done. So I get the Pitocin, and it literally went from like 0 to 100. And I was like, these people were not lying. It's moving quick. And they come check me. They're like, oh, you're fully dilated. Like, this is within maybe an hour or two of getting the Pitocin. I'm fully dilated. And they're like, okay, well, your doctor just walked out to get blah, 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 blah. I mean, you still have a little bit of time before you have to push. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just chilling. I'm like, okay, great. It's not that bad. Like, fully dilated. Like, that wasn't that bad. I made it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I need to push. And the lady's like, oh, just wait a minute. The nurse is telling me, just wait a minute. Your doctor's coming. We're going to page her right now. I'm like, no, I have to push. And I just start pushing. And they're like, no, you can't push right now. Like, they're panicking because I'm pushing. Like, I didn't feel like I was pushing. It felt like the baby was pushing itself out of me. And I'm screaming my head off because I'm like, like, it was literally like somebody was trying to rip through my body. I mean, that's what was happening. And I wasn't pushing. And they keep telling me, like, stop pushing, stop pushing. I'm like, I'm not pushing. Like, I'm not trying to push, but I need to push. And so then it would like pass. Like I would push for that amount of time and then it would stop. And then the doctor rushes in, like, because everybody in the hospital can hear me scream. Everybody can hear me screaming. So she comes in and she's like, okay, let's get her in position. And as she's trying to get my feet where she wants my feet, I just start pushing. This baby just starts pushing itself out. And then he just kind of like, he just come out. Like, it was like 10 minutes. She might have been in for the last few minutes and she just catches a baby. She's like, okay. I mean, he's out. Like, it all worked out because she was trying to calm me down to make sure that he was in the correct position and all those type of things. But that never happened because I wasn't pushing, but I was pushing. Like, my body was pushing the baby out. That boy wanted to get out real bad. Like, I don't know what he was rushing for. But then they give you the baby, and I'm holding him. And the one thing I did not think about is without the epidural, if you tear, you got to get stitches. And I'm like, ooh. And so she's like, yeah, you have like, it wasn't like major tearing. I forget what the degrees are, but it was like a lower grade tear. But she's still saying she needs to stitch me up. And so I'm like, stitch me up. Like, I feel fine. I don't need that. But she's like, I'm going to give you this numbing stuff, which is also a needle. So she's sticking a needle into a place that's torn already. And it hurt so bad. Oh my goodness. I was like, I didn't think about this. I didn't think this through. And so she's numbing it, and then she starts to stitch, and I'm like, I can do it. Like, she's like, okay, I'll give you some more numbing, and she does it again, and I'm like, and again she starts stitching. I'm like, I can do it. I don't know if I could really feel it or if I just like in my head thinking about it, because eventually after the third numbing, I said it again, like, I can feel it. And she's like, girl, like, she just hurried up and did it. And so I was like, okay, well, okay, like, but she was like, that's enough. Like, you had 3 doses of numbing, like, what else do you want? But she hurried up and stitched it up, so it wasn't a bad, like, tear. And I actually ended up watching something where the girl, I think she had a similar tear that I did, but she had a home birth, and they were like, oh, it heals on its own. And I was like, you telling me I could have just, like, it does take a while to heal on its own, but it will heal on its own. You don't have to be stitched up. Like, these are things that we don't get told. We don't know. We just do whatever the doctor says to do. So I wish I would have done more research about that because a lot of people were giving like, oh, these are the things you can do to not tear. Or when you're going through natural labor, this is what you should and shouldn't do. But then when you're in it, like all of that goes out the window. Like I wasn't trying to push. I was trying to have control, but I had no control. Like it wasn't in my control in any way. Um, so yeah, that was my that was my experience with natural birth. And people ask me sometimes like, would I recommend? And I'm like, I don't know. Like the period of time of pushing was a lot shorter. I knew exactly what my body was doing, but I still didn't feel in control because that was my issue the first time, like not having feeling like I could feel anything, not feeling like I was in control, like somebody's telling me when to push and they just keep saying push one more time, push one more time, like I don't know what's going on. And this time I knew exactly what was going on, but I still wasn't in control because the baby was doing what he wanted to do. So I don't know. It depends what type of control you want. And if you are okay with, because it is extremely painful to me. It was extremely painful. Like it literally felt like you were being ripped inside out. Like it just felt like you were being ripped apart. But I don't know. It was 10 minutes versus I don't know how long that lady told me keep pushing one more time. I felt like it took forever.
That lady was going for 4 minutes. Like,
I don't know. It felt like forever though. I don't know how long it took, but I know for him it was like 10 minutes, maybe less, because they told me. And then the nurses were coming by like, you were doing so good, and then all of a sudden, like not all of a sudden, it's like you were taking those contractions like a champ, and then we heard you screaming. I'm like, yeah, but the baby's here. Like that's what matters. That is what matters. But yeah,
Mhm.
good times, man. I wouldn't do it again. I don't think I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if I had another kid, I probably would not get an epidural. But I feel like I would do more research about like how to ground myself, like how to be prepared for that, for the pushing. But yeah, that's my story.
there was one part you had said. Oh, it was when you were going to. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or if we had talked about this before, but you going to the appointments by yourself and like looking like a
Oh,
single
single
black
mother.
man. Yeah.
I feel like for COVID though, it was different because everybody was pretty much by themselves unless it was their first kid, and then they could come to that ultrasound appointment. But we were all like, even in the office, all the chairs are spread out, and it's one chair, and it's just women. So it didn't feel as awkward as like with my first kid. Nah, you coming because everybody's spouse is here who got a spouse, and maybe some of these people are not single mothers, like they have spouses and maybe they have other kids at home. But I don't fall into that. I need you to come. Make sure these people don't think I'm a single mother or I don't have no support. Because I think it is important to show that you have support, like somebody cares
Yeah, I
about
get
you.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because even for the ones I was doing by myself, I would call my husband in so that he could, hey, can I call my husband? And then have my husband on the phone. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, well, I talk about the Hezekiah part of it. Well, I guess I could share it. Like when I would go to my appointments, he normally would come to just about every one of them. I think there was like one that my mom went to, and maybe like one or two I went by myself. And between like pregnancy brain and just like the overwhelm of it all, like I feel like you really should have somebody there just with you to like take in the information because it's a lot. And I know for me it was a lot because it was like oh, your diabetes, oh, this being a high risk pregnancy, and it's just like, what? Okay, you got to get blood work, we need your urine, we need to test this, we need to test that, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, like, so I definitely think like having somebody there to also ask the questions, like I would write the questions down, especially if my husband couldn't be there, like I would write the questions that he would want to ask. Or if I had a question between appointments, I'd write it down and then I'd make sure to like pull that note up to ask it because again, like your brain is just off a little bit.
Yeah.
But what as far as like Hezekiah, I do remember you telling me like I'm pregnant. I know I'm pregnant. Like I
Yeah.
told this man I'm gonna get pregnant because y'all were doing like I think it was like the temperature or something. Like you had it down to like a science though. Like even though that was
Yeah.
like you only had one period, you still had it down to a science. Where you're just like I know my body well enough to know like I'm ovulating and if something happens, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she's like yeah. But she told me that after I think I came over for like 4th of July. Like it was a year like yeah, it was 2020. We weren't really doing much, so I just came over for to hang out with you all, and we were supposed to watch Hamilton together, and like I walk in, and she had the test on the table, and I'm like, what? And I'm like screaming, I'm excited, and she's like, yeah, I told this man. And she's like, yeah, I'm having another one. So so I was all in from the jump, and then what's that? Before no, that was like shortly after like me and Ronald just started talking. Like we weren't really talking like that. We were just like, hey, how you doing? Okay, good. How was your day? Response days later. So like we weren't really anything. It was just me being me. Um, and then I think closer to the date, like maybe January, February, Moyo was doing this thing where she was just like, oh, I'm going to get the house together, da, 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 da. And I'm like, you're going to get the house together the week before you're actually due. I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to like overload yourself because that baby could come early. And she's like, no, I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. And my mom was like, that baby's going to come before, because I think your due date was March. It was like
Yeah, it
in
was like
March.
March 8th. I think it was my sister's birthday, which is March 8th.
Yeah. And my mom was like, that baby's coming in February. Like, no. And
I
sure enough,
also
I
was
think y'all,
doing both of my pregnancies I was doing a lot because I was like making sure
yeah.
I kept working out and doing
Yeah,
all of
she
my
was, yep.
normal stuff. So that could be why I kind of gave birth early-ish. I mean, it wasn't super early. It's like a week early. And it also could just be like
Yeah.
how the tracking of the stuff is because my calendar, my period calendar is usually a couple days off of my ovulation. So what they may have calculated might have been off a couple days anyway.
That's
So
fair.
yeah.
Not not just like Moyo trying to get this Roman still or whatever together a week before. Like she ain't do the
Don't,
same thing.
So I
no.
came to Jess' house like, girl, ain't nothing ready. We cleaning up, packing up bags. Nothing was ready.
I thought I had more time.
You got a whole day. They gave you a day.
I always thought I had more time.
They they could have been more specific.
There was so much to do too. It wasn't even like
It
I felt like my
was.
stuff was easy because I already had one kid,
Yeah.
and then they were gonna like he was gonna stay in my room for the most part in the beginning. So all I really need was the bedside bassinet, which I feel like we put together, or my husband put together early.
Yeah.
So it wasn't much for me to prep.
No. But I don't remember what y'all were doing. Y'all were doing moving something, or y'all were planning to move something. It was like
I
some
think we were
final
moving
touches that you were
Joyous
doing.
down because she was in that first room, and we moved her
Yeah.
down, and then he was gonna be in her what was her
Her.
room, which is right next
Mhm.
to our room.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember what was it? It was a Saturday morning, and Ron was here, and we were like just hanging out, and that's when we got the call. And I was like, well, we got to go up there. Good thing we have our bags packed. So we jetted up there, and his mom was there already, and so yeah, we hung out with Joyous until y'all came back to the house, which was kind of a quick turnaround. I feel like it was like what, 3 days?
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah,
I don't even know because I think the first day, because he was born in the morning, so that first day counted.
yeah,
So I think that's why it seemed like we got back so quickly.
yeah. Yeah, so we were able to like, oh, and we also like left my dog with my mom because my mom already knew like, hey, if we get the call, like we're gonna need to drop the dog off so we can like go up there. And so I think even she came and got the dog. I don't know how we got the dog, but either way, the dog got taken care of. We got to go up there and stay there, and hang with Joyous, take care of Joyous until y'all got back. And then when y'all got back, I think we stayed like maybe 1 or 2 days after y'all got back.
Possibly.
Yeah,
All that stuff is a blur, honestly. Like I feel
I
like
know.
we
That's like,
did better. I feel like I wish we did better at documenting in the beginning, which was kind of why I was like, after you had Vivi, I was like, let's talk about this so that we can at least get somebody's story,
yeah,
maybe
and
semi close to accurate.
and I think back about it. I'm like, I feel like there's still so many details that I missed, but I mean, it's okay. Like
Yeah.
we'll talk about more stuff and it'll come up, but yeah, I think it's so blurry because it wasn't really that long ago, but it just so much happened in such a short amount of time. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, but I do remember Hezzy did not like me. That baby did not like me
He
for
ain't like
the
nobody
first.
for real, for
Yeah, that's true.
real. He only liked
That
his
man,
mama for a
he
long
really
time.
he liked Ronald. He liked Ronald, but he did not like me at all. That man tolerated me barely.
Yeah, I think I have a
But
video where you're like asking him, does he like you? He might have been maybe not one yet, like close to one. And he just looking like, why are you
mhm,
talking to me? You can hold me, but stop talking.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, but that's still my baby. That's still my man. He be carrying the life out of me though. Carrying the life out of me. But yeah, I think he was a little heavier than Joyous was when he was born.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like a pound apart, like a pound in 1 ounce.
yeah. He's so cute, little fresh baby,
Hmm.
super fresh baby.
All right. So thank you all for watching. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, rate, but only 5 stars.
Tell
um,
your friends.
yeah, all the stuff, all the stuff. I think that we may do one more of these as a just we could talk about postpartum and like first years or something like that. Um, as a collective versus each of us individually. And that'll be the end of the baby series, or what was it?
Yeah.
Birth stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. We probably should do a poll to see if people have any
Yeah, I'd like
questions
that.
that they want to
Yeah.
ask for any of the
All 12
stories.
viewers that we have.
Right.
All 26 viewers that we have. Thank you very
Sure, I
much.
saw it was 27 earlier. I said, okay.
See? See? See?
So,
Um,
but
but yeah, we would try, and that might be the tricky part because if we do the poll, everybody kind of has to have heard all the stories first. So we'll workshop it.
yeah, I mean, that's the beginning of the year, so it works out. Um, but yeah, so we will keep you guys posted on that. So thanks for watching again, and we look forward to talking to you guys in the future.
Yes, yes, yes.
Till next
See
time.
y'all.
Bye.